Mr. Speaker. The Minister of Education has embarked on a sweeping overhaul of kindergarten to grade 12 curriculum across all subjects. Not only has he decided to roll out the changes all at once, something that will put exceptional stress on our teachers and system, he's doing it over 2 years instead of 6. The pace is a disservice to our children, parents, and teachers. To the Minister of Education, will you slow down the breakneck speed of curriculum redesign so we can make sure it's done right?
Honourable Minister.
You know, Mr. Speaker, it's an excellent question, and we would absolutely slow it down to make sure it's done right if that's what's required. We're doing this in a different method than we normally do. Normally, we have educators sitting in the education department working on curriculum one subject at a time for 10 years. That's not good enough anymore. It's not nimble. It's not responsive. This request, this new model has come from educators. It has come from school boards. They're the ones working on it. They'll develop prototypes. If they're not right, they won't be implemented. So we're not talking about broad, radical implementation in 2016. We'll get it right.
Honourable member for Sutton.
I'd say to the Minister that's jumping from one extreme to the other. Mr. Speaker, given that in a document from Alberta Education we'll be tabling shortly, Suncor and Syncrude are titled Key Education Partners in the development of our kindergarten to grade 3 curriculum. And given that the K-3 represents an especially formative time in our children's lives, will the Minister please explain to the parents of Alberta the benefits oil and gas companies can expect to receive from co-developing curriculum for their 5-year-olds?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it's only the NDP that think that there's a small group of Albertans that have a stake in the education system. Everyone, every Albertan has a stake in the education system. And every corner of Alberta has been invited to participate in consultations like setting the direction, like Speak Out, which is a student engagement, like Inspiring Education. And we take all that input, and we want employers, we want libraries, we want parents, we want grandparents, we want everybody to have a voice in the curriculum redesign as well.
Honourable member, final supplemental.
That's pretty rich, Minister, considering there's a short list of who's invited, and it's not every Albertan. Given that oil and gas companies have no business in curriculum development of kindergarten to grade 3, and given that oil and gas companies have been elevated to the same status as teachers in our classrooms, will the Minister admit that he thinks teachers might get in the way of his vision for selling out classrooms to the highest corporate bidder?
Mr. Speaker, just a ridiculous comment. You know, I just refer back to we want every corner of the province involved in this. The oil and gas industry is a strong piece of our economy. Whether what part of they're involved in the grade 1 to 3 classroom, I can't specifically answer that question. But in general, we want all the business community paying attention to and engaged in the education system, just like Dr. Tran is.